"Yeah, I'm fine with the new schedule," she said in that meeting. But 20 minutes later, in the parking lot, she told a colleague it was going to wreck her mornings. You've watched this happen: the nods, the sounds good, everyone's pleasant, meeting adjourned. And then the real conversation, the honest one, happens after the meeting, in the hallway, in the parking lot, in the group text you're not on. So you tell yourself the story most leaders tell themselves: my team just doesn't trust each other yet. Give it time, maybe another icebreaker. But that's not it. Your team can trust each other completely and still say nothing in your meeting, because trust was never the problem. The meeting was never designed to make honesty safe. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you 5 moves, 5 things you do in real time that build safety in the meeting itself. Include one that takes 60 seconds at the top of your next meeting and changes what your team believes is allowed in that room. No team building games, no new poster on the wall, moves you can run on Monday. Section 1. Back in video 2, we unpacked the 3 forces that built your team's silence. But today is the other half: how you build the thing that overcomes them. Amy Edmondson is the researcher at Harvard who spent more than 25 years studying one question: why do some teams learn while others stall? And she wrote the book on it. It's called The Fearless Organization. She calls it psychological safety, the belief that you can take an interpersonal risk in this group. Ask the naive question, admit the mistake, disagree with the plan, without getting punished or humiliated for it. And here's the part that most leaders miss. It's not a personality trait. It's something your quiet teachers lack. It's a feature of the environment, which means it's something leaders build, or in some cases, don't build. Because your teachers are doing math constantly. James Dietert, a researcher who studies why people stay silent at work, found that before anyone speaks up, they run a split-second risk calculation. What does saying this cost me, and what does it get me? In most school meetings, the honest comment costs plenty. The label, the side eye, the "let's take that offline," and pays nothing. Silence isn't a character flaw. It's a rational response to a badly designed meeting. So the fix isn't asking for courage. The fix is changing the math. 5 green lights. Green light 1. This is the 60-second move. Before the topic opens, before anyone can perform agreement, you frame the work out loud, and it sounds like this: this decision affects your mornings, your planning, your kids. I only see part of this. I need what each of you see from where you sit. If you disagree with where this is heading, that's not a problem for this meeting. That's the point of this meeting. So this takes about 60 seconds. And look at what it does. It names the stakes. It admits your blind spot. And it redefines the disagreement as a contribution before anyone has to test whether that's true. Edmondson calls this framing the work. You're telling the room what kind of problem this is: uncertain, interdependent. It needs everyone's voice. Most leaders skip straight to the agenda item and then wonder why the room performs politeness. Green light 2. Here's what happens without it. The first voice in the room is the loudest voice and usually the most senior voice, and everyone else takes their cue from it. The meeting anchors in 30 seconds, and the honest disagreement never makes it to the room. So don't leave this first one to chance. You got to structure it. My favorite is a free protocol called 1, 2, 4, all from Liberating Structures. 1 minute alone with the question in silence, writing. 2 minutes in pairs. 4 in quads, then the room. By the time anyone speaks publicly, every single person has already spoken twice in a low-risk setting. The quiet voices arrive warmed up. The loud voices arrive having listened. And for the most charged topics, where even in pairs it feels risky, we'll take the speaking out of it entirely. A chalk talk. Question on a chart paper, markers, nobody talks, but everybody writes. In video 5, we used anonymous index cards for data conversations. Same principle. I've built a free digital version of those cards. It's called Team Pulse. You post a question, your team writes their honest answers from their phones, completely anonymous. And nothing shows until you reveal them all at once together. Nobody has to go first because everybody goes at the same time. It's a free link and it's in the description. So lower the cost of the first turn until honesty is cheaper than the silence. Green light 3, ask, don't tell. Green light 3 is about the questions you open with, because most leaders' questions are really just decoration. We already know the answer we want, and the room knows we know. Does anyone have any concerns? Is not a question, it's a checkpoint. A real question is one you don't already have the answer to. And Ed Schein, and we'll spend more time with him in the next video, calls this stance humble inquiry. The humility is the point. You are genuinely dependent on what your team sees that you can't. Here are 3 that work in school meetings. What are we not saying about this yet? Who sees this differently? I really want to know what would have to be true for this to fail. That last one is sneaky good. It gives the skeptic a sanctioned way in. Nobody has to volunteer as the negative one because you just handed the whole room permission to stress test the plan. And one of my favorites, Brene Brown, gives you the reason this is kindness, not softness. In her book, Dare to Lead, I know I'm showing a lot of books today, she says, clear is kind, unclear is unkind. A vague invitation to share thoughts is unclear. A pointed, genuine question is clear. Clear is what feels safe. Green light 4, protect the first risky share. This one is the hinge of the whole video. When the first 3 green lights are working, at some point, somebody's actually going to do it. They're going to say the uncomfortable thing, something like, honestly, I don't think the schedule serves our lowest readers. And it's in that moment, every other person in the room stops looking at her and starts looking at you. Your face in the next 3 seconds is very important. Here's what's happening in the room neurologically. Judith Glasser, who spent her career mapping conversations onto the brain, in her book, Conversational Intelligence, she has a frame. It's that every exchange pushes people towards protect or connect. A dismissive reaction, the sigh, the well actually, the instant defense. It registers as a threat and tips the room into protect mode. The honest channel closes. However, a curious reaction does the opposite. It signals connection, and the channel stays open. And her research says that this sorting happens in an instant, long before anyone consciously even thinks about it. So the move is scripted because in that moment, you will not have time to really compose one. So when the first hard thing lands, you say something like, "Thank you for that. That's exactly what this meeting is for. Say more. Do not defend the schedule. Do not explain the constraint that maybe she doesn't even know about. There's time for that later. Right now, you have exactly one job. Make sure the first risky share pays off for the person who took the risk." Edmondson's team research, all the way back to her hospital studies, keep landing on the same finding. How the leader responds to early candor decides whether there's ever a second act of candor. One eye roll can undo a semester of relationship building. Green light 5, reward the messenger out loud. Green light 4 happens in the moment. Green light 5 happens after the meeting. and it happens out loud in front of everyone. When honesty led somewhere useful, close the loop publicly. 2 weeks ago, Maria pushed back in the intervention block, and because she did, we caught the problem before it hit the 6th graders. That's what I want more of. Notice what you're praising, not niceness, not agreement, the risk itself. The room learns what actually gets rewarded here. And the research on speaking up says the same thing. What turns one risky comment into a team habit is the room watching that comment actually change something. Your team doesn't believe the poster. They believe what happened to Maria. Here's your Monday morning application, and it's deliberately small. Don't install all 5 green lights. Just pick one green light, just one, and build it into your next meeting. Maybe it's the 60-second frame at the top. Maybe it's the 1, 2, 4 all on a single agenda item. Then watch one thing. Who speaks, who doesn't usually speak? That's your data. That's the whole assignment. And when it works, when the green lights are all on, somebody's actually going to use them. And you're going to hit the moment every leader secretly dreads. Someone doesn't just speak up. They push back on you in front of everyone. And you've got about 10 seconds. And most leaders spend them doing one of 2 things: deflecting or doubling down. And neither one of these works. In the next video, we're going to go through the 3rd option. Before you go, the free Hard Conversation Starter Kit is linked in the description. It's got the team agreement builder, the data interrogation question bank, the tools that this whole series is built on. Hit subscribe so video 7 finds you. And hey, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.